Hello and welcome back. We just finished round 7, this one on the internet. Your reaction, Jay?
Oh, like transportation, I feel that, while I'm an internet consumer, I use the internet a lot. I feel that this is also a problem of the middle class primarily. The other question that I suppose was not really tackled properly is to what extent can we make it more accessible, right, to the poorest, who should not rely only on free Facebook, for example.
Right.
Right. Of course, the classic answer to that is to make it more competitive, and therefore, internet would be much cheaper. So in that sense, Bongbong Marcos got it right. Competition is always good for the people. Escudero has mentioned a lot of very specific details concerning investments in fiber optics. And so for this, you have to have an administration that really gives attention to these investments. Because in many ways, right, if you look at the profile of the highly advanced economies around the world, they invest a lot in communication. And the internet is something that we can no longer neglect.
Right.
I think the key question here was, how do you free up the market for competition? And most of them, I think a number of them got it right when they said the regulatory body should not be captured by vested interests. So
That's a good point,
that's
yeah.
really key.
Yes.
But however, none of them mentioned that there is a Philippine Competition Council. This is a landmark law passed under Aquino. And this is patterned after the antitrust law of, I think, the US
The
and
US,
Australia.
yeah.
So this is an opportunity for the new administration and whoever wins to implement, to free up the market. And my doubts about Escudero is his ninongs in the weddings include Fernando Zobel de Ayala of Globe
Yeah.
and Ramon Ang, who is trying to enter the market. So maybe with his announced delicadeza, how will he play out in this scenario if he wins? So yes, they got many of them got the key issue right,
Yeah.
to not to be beholden to any vested interest. But then let's see the people who are backing these candidates.
Does anyone have a track record there of standing up to vested interests? Journalists and sociologists.
Because Lenny
Yeah,
is
very good.
relatively new, and I think she has not.
Hard to say.
Yeah, she has not had any experience, I think, in this regard. They're all in the Senate, so it's really legislation. So I'm not sure. It's just that we have to watch out.
That's true. This is not something that we can easily verify, right?
Yes.
Because ultimately, when I look at these candidates, right, without being very specific, they represent a particular elite class in our society, highly educated, English speaking. And so, if I could identify someone who really has come from the poor, it might actually just be Leni Robredo.
The only woman.
Yeah, the only woman who takes public transportation way before she became a candidate and way before those photos
But
became
Trillanes
viral.
also comes
Oh,
from
that's
the.
true.
But we don't
From the
know
ranks,
his
right?
his transport habits.
That's right.
However, we need also to check. I think for the viewers, we need to check who voted for the Philippine Competition Council in the Senate among the candidates, and we'll see what their arguments were, if they voted against it or they were for it.
This is round 7. And
Round 7. It
we
seems like
were-
forever,
I
Maria.
know,
Yes.
it's certainly quite exhaustive, right, in terms of issues. If you were to go back earlier, maybe 3 rounds ago, Clarissa David said that the winners for her so far have been Alan Peter and Leni Robredo. Do you still agree with this? And that those people would be able to get votes from Marcos and Cheese. Do you agree with that or no? Has it changed?
Yeah, they still stand out. Alan Peter Cayetano
True.
and Leni Robredo still stand out.
True.
But maybe the Marcos phenomenon tonight, as I asked you earlier, you said that he has a very loyal following. So I don't know if because he appeared initially to be
Yeah.
the underdog, whether he will gain votes. But I still believe that Cayetano and Robredo
That's
are
true.
they stood out in this
That's true.
debate.
We know that debates do affect voting patterns, voting behaviors, right? We know that the 2 presidential debates have already affected certain candidates. I suspect, however, that because there's only one VP, debate,
Right.
I am not sure to what extent this is going to affect people's choices right till the end, right till the election itself, because how many more weeks do we have? About one,
1 month?
Yeah.
4 weeks,
April
right?
9,
Yeah.
1
Yeah.
month.
So,
Yeah.
so we've got
Yes.
one more month.
Exactly.
And that's a long time. In fact, more than enough time to repackage themselves and to keep the message going, so to speak. And we've seen it with Cayetano, for example, right? To a certain extent, he was. I thought it was already tiring, with all his tirades and all his.
Oh,
Yeah?
and
Are we
we are
going
going
back?
right back to the debate. So stay tuned. Stay on the live stream. We're going back to CNN's vice presidential debate.